first of all, our former Shogun, Erik.
Hey, what's up?
We also have the probably best Spanish crane, as far as I know, Djinncito,
Hi there.
who is coming off an LLO win and whooped our ass in the World Cup. And finally, we have the maybe least known to the general public, Slynight,
Hello.
who is Greek and has been on our first and on this year's World Cup team, and is a really strong player with multiple top 8s and an elemental championship win in Greece. Honestly, I'm the weird one here.
You're a crab player. So
Yes.
yeah. I don't know why you're playing Unicorn in World Cup.
Nobody does, bro. But I got a spot to fill, you know.
You got the draw?
Yeah, it was like Anagon will be playing Crab, so we need a unicorn player.
Someone had to do it, and you chose to do it. So well done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just hoping I don't disappoint the Greek public, all 15 of us.
Also playing Unicorn in World Cup, so I know how you feel.
You're playing
Yeah.
like 2 decks and none of these are Crane, right?
Yeah, crap, and you.
How is life now that you're playing top tier Crab?
It's much more relaxed. I can just do whatever.
Okay, so first things first. Where do you think Crane is on the tier list right now? Which number from 1 to 7?
I would go for number 5. So probably for me, it's number 5.
Which
I
would you
thought-
say are
I
worse?
thought 6, so I think I'm curious to see which two you think are worse.
I didn't hear Eric.
Djinncito said he thinks Crane are number 5. So, which are worse?
Well, I think Unicorn are definitely worse. So Unicorn, I would place number 6 or number 7. And then, depending on what kind of build they are playing, Phoenix are not that great at the moment. So I would put Phoenix on number 6.
Whoa, that's a hot take, I think.
Yeah,
Wait.
I totally disagree. I think Phoenix might be number 1.
Yeah, Demagogue thinks the same. The rest of us think they are number 5-ish, 4-ish.
Are we talking Phoenix Enlightenment or just normal Phoenix?
Normal Phoenix. Normal Phoenix. I'm not sure yet though. Don't take my word for it. Slynight?
I think Crane is on bottom of the tier list. In my
Number
honest
7?
opinion. Yeah, for sure. It's just I think you can try different crane builds. The normal one is the mid-range tower, I guess, because we don't have big towers like Dragon or Lion, so I called it mid-range. That's a normal, a classic build, I would say. I think it's worse than Unicorn, but not every build of Unicorn, of course. I think Stay Your Hand in a Unicorn build, it's really good, especially against Crane, but it's good in general, I guess. Most decks are running Defend Your Honor, so our Polish debate some of them. Yeah, I'm talking about that Unicorn build. So that's why Unicorn is above Crane for me. There are more reasons, but yeah, I won't comment that here. About the rest builds of Crane, I think, for example, I'm playing a weird build on World Cup. It's a Dishonor build. But yeah, it's a different aspect to try this build. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is a build that can actually win games against the top tier decks. But I think I believe it. I believe in it. I believe more than the normal builds. That's why I think that's why I'm playing this. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know for real if there is a Crane build out there who is better or not. But I feel Crane is definitely bottom tier. That's all.
Eric, you said they're bottom tier as well.
I think Unicorn is worse, so I think Crane is number 6 for me. But yeah, I think both are Unicorn decks. Whether it's Scouted Terrain or just HMT, I think they are even worse the way things are now.
Seems like I'm the weird one, indeed, for thinking Unicorn is either third or fourth.
Well, you need to wait for your moment. At some point, the meta will change, and maybe Unicorn will be top tier. But at the moment, unfortunately, not quite.
I think currently in the meta, Unicorn has like one losing matchup, which is Crab, but the rest are all at least even. Anyway, let's not talk about Unicorn here, although I want your opinion on something since it was brought up in the last special. Unicorn versus Crane, who does the matchup favor? Eric.
If it's Scouted Terrain, I think Crane is very favorite. But if it's normal Unicorn, I think it's very close to 50-50.
Djinncito.
I think we have cards that fight Unicorn really well. For example, Doji Challenger, and with all the ways to be ready, for example, the retain the offense and all of that, I think we can stall the game long enough so that Unicorn doesn't really destroy our provinces in 1 or 2 turns, and then we just have better numbers. So for me, when I play against Unicorn, I feel more like it's 60-40 than 50-50.
Okay. Slynight.
I think the opposite. 60 for Unicorn or 65. But I'm talking about the Stay Your Hand build, like I said. Not every Unicorn build.
Are you
for sure.
talking about your Dishonor
SMT,
Crane
SMT.
or the normal Crane?
And normal and Dishonor, I think.
Okay. Interesting. Everyone has different opinions on this. No 80-20 though, as I had heard in some Unicorn talks.
I think that's a little bit too high, and you need to respect the good openings from Unicorn. Sometimes they will just get all the Join the Fray, Chagatai,
Yasamura.
and all of that. So
Yeah, Yasamura strength in numbers or something like that. Okay, I can see that. So how do you think the new releases will affect the current Crane builds? Because there are obviously lost papers being released, which will affect the meta a lot, and you also have the eminent province mechanic, which seems to have gotten some support, and it's probably worth exploring at least. Do you think?
I think at the moment, Crane got 2 possible builds. They have the Seeker of Void with Dragon and Let Go and the usual things with Duelist. And then we also have the Keeper of Air or Seeker of Air with Mark of Shame and all the Scorpion package to assassinate people. At the moment, I think that with the new releases, Lost Papers might change the way that the Dragon Splash deck works, because you cannot really build a huge duelist tower because they will just keep bowing it with lost papers. So it's something that maybe we will need to adapt to, and that kind of build might fade away.
I think in general the meta will not favor that kind of towerish crane build because if you think about the support Lion is getting as well, I don't think a crane tower can keep up with the advantage that a card like Master Tactician can offer the Lions. So if you try to go tower against him, it probably won't end up well for you.
Well, Crane doesn't have straight on effects, right? They have only not bowing effects, like Return Defense and Kakita Final Stance. You can't ready one guy. You just don't bow. So Lost Paper really fucks that.
Yeah. Eric, your thoughts?
Yeah, Lost Papers is really bad for the classic Dragon Splash builds. So maybe even so bad that they are not really competitive anymore. But beside that, then Mark of Shame, I think that Lion Splash for take-up command is also possible. Especially with Lost Papers, because you can play some ready for battle to counter it very cleanly.
I saw you trying that build on Zigoku, right? You're already testing it?
Yeah, I was trying that last week.
Good.
Take up command. It's a good card, general. It can be used in defense too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. And it costs 0. Yeah, okay. I like Lions Plus for that reason Eric said. But we have there is one new card, right? The one that you put your hand aside and you draw 5 for the
Under
conflict.
siege?
Yeah, under siege, right? Yeah, that's an interesting choice too for Lions Plus. It's a different game style than Eric said, because under siege need more attachments, so you can play them. You draw 5 for the conflict, right? So you need to play these cards.
Yeah.
And events, it's not necessarily that it can be played in the conflict at that moment. Yeah, it's a different.
Maybe cards like Wave the Crane, Voice of Honor, they have synergy with Under Siege, so I can see that as a possible build, but if you put more attachments, then you will certainly need Ready for Battle to deal with papers.
Or in service to my lord.
True.
What I really like about the Lion Splash is how aggressive you are, because you are always looking to get take up command, elegant Tessen on your brass samurai, on your dazzling duelist, and try to break 2 provinces each turn, because you have so much ready with already high numbers that if you get it right, it's quite likely that you will break 1 or 2 provinces each turn. What I don't really like is that I think that you run out of gas really soon because you spend a lot of resources on these 2 fate guys and you don't have enough to punch through if you don't break enough provinces as early as you should.
Do you think there is, sorry to interrupt you, Slynight, do you think there is a synergy between Under Siege and Favorable Alliance? Because I think that's a pretty interesting combo.
Yeah, that's true. You would keep all your favorable alliance cards during the
Not only
conflict
that,
and
but
after forever.
also you can favor Alliance for 8, then if you both are like at 12, 13 cards hand, that favorable alliance for 4, 5, 6, whatever cards matters way more when you both have 5 cards in hand than 13, right?
I guess it matters, but if you have the fate for it, because Favorable Alliance, it's a card that needs fate, and if you want to play with board, it's not ideal to play with. If you want a big board, for example, like you're playing 3 or a 4 cost with 3 fate on it, you won't have the fate for Favorable Alliance. And all of this under siege,
Yeah.
I guess in a Dishonored build or a build that passes often and playing some conflict characters, more conflict characters than usual. Yeah, it can be possible, but it's an interesting combo for sure. Under siege and Favorable Alliance, that's for sure. Take up command, like Djinncito said, it's running out of gas at some point. But what other choices do we have? I guess we have the Seeker of Void build, right? With a tower style, mid-range tower. But yeah, we are talking about loose paper then.
Yeah.
And maybe he's a sermon.
That Seeker build will be certainly the worst deck. If that's the best Crane, then Crane will be the worst deck in the game, I think. Because, like, Lost Papers hurts it way too much.
Yes, and absolutely everyone plays 3 off. So
Yeah, through lost paper, some Dishonored decks are playing Hits a sermon. We can't really ignore that, in my opinion. And Earth Becomes Sky is a card too. If you get bow once, you will get bow twice and third, and it goes on. So maybe a Ready for Battle or in service or common cause, I don't know. Some red effects like this, but we need to splash something different, not Dragon Splash.
well, I remember at some point we used to play Keeper with Unicorn. So we will play Talisman of the Sun and then the Gauging Customs. So we
Yeah,
will be able to get our characters ready. The problem is there is no Toshimoko at the moment. So it's not as strong as it used to be.
And also, that deck is also hurt by the papers. You do not get practically things that can help deal with the situation.
While you get to run the 3 Gauging Customs, which will get a character ready. So if you have any attachment, you name it, Talisman of the Sun or the Favored Mount, you will be able to ready your tower.
Ah, yeah. True.
You need fate for that, but yeah, it's a solution.
The only other issue I can find with that build is that most other decks in the meta, if you don't run Let Go as a Crane, they can run you over. Like Tower Lion, maybe even a Kisada, or even the little kids of Crab with Watch Commanders can hurt.
If you are running a Void role, you can always get a Stinty House. So you should have enough courtiers to at least bounce one attachment each turn.
I think if a deck has a strong gameplay and doesn't run any attachment hate, then the big problem is for your opponent, not for you. Because if you think about the past, the crab with Unicorn Splash Spyglass,
Yes.
they didn't run any attachment hate, and they were still very strong.
But that was in a meta where only Crab could run towers. We had Karada, so we were not scared of towers. Right now, Crab does not have a good tower. Trust me, I tried. I tried really hard, but we can't play tower.
Yeah, I guess
My main issue right now is I don't think either a mid-range deck or a control-ish deck can somehow beat the Lion that will be playing Master Tactician and a billion attachments and Common Cause for untaps, which is like the most obvious deck that came to my mind as a Lion for the following meta.
Lion gets very strong, only stronger. Master Tactician, now it's definitely a card that can put some hell in your opponent, in their opponent. I'm interested to hear what do you guys think about Crane not running attachment hate, not even T-House.
I think it will be risky to do that in a tournament. Maybe in casual games it's fine, it's fun, but in a tournament you should definitely run Milla Mystic or Teti Houses. You need something because there are so many attachments that really beat the whole plan that you might have.
So if you run a Difference Plus, you need to run Courtiers and Milla Mystics, right?
One or the other, if not both. Yes.
Eric?
Yeah, I think you definitely need one of them. Otherwise, they can just play one Tagashi Acolyte and you can never win the game.
The
I
meme
think you have
cards.
experience on that Acolyte.
Any
Yeah.
chance you think Crane can somehow go for weird ass stuff like Five Fires or something like that? Because it seems like when a deck is weaker, you try to play around the meta. You don't try to fight it head on the same field.
I think Five Fires is really expensive because you have to splash for it, you have to pay influence, and then you also pay your restricted card.
Yes, I don't see consumed by Five Fires in Crane decks, at least not anytime soon.
We have Batsu Genja, in my opinion, too.
Well, we have Takamori and we have the new guy, the 0-0, which reveals, well, which discards 3 cards.
The one with 3 glory, you mean?
He's really good because he can set up lost papers for the following turn and discard the keepers if you have them.
Or if you have Nerissima with him on board, you can flip Lost Papers.
Yes, but that will take your passing fate all times. I don't think it's that great of a combo.
Yeah, I just thought of a combo, that's all. Yeah, the new one. Interesting. Takamori, of course, you need Fate for that, right? You need Fate for Takamori and for Five Fires. And
Yeah.
for Takamori to work, you need another 5 cost probably. So, or 4 cost for Butcher, because it's a hell of a nightmare for Cranes.
Yes, his Butcher is probably one of the worst cards in the crab pairing or in the crab matchup.
We really need cards, right? Crab got Butcher, Lion got Tactician.
Phoenix are broken.
Yeah. All the other clans, I think they are getting cards. They are getting powerful cards. Crane are getting fair cards, not powerful ones. That's my opinion.
Well, I think you might not agree with me, but the 1/5 Duelist Courtier Cunning Negotiator, for me, it's a really solid card that I will run in my decks pretty much always.
You mean you run it, you play it, and not just for rally effect, right?
Yes, to play it in your deck and to actually play it whenever possible.
Okay. No, it's. I respect your opinion. It's probably maybe you are right about that card, but yeah, I'm playing mostly for rally, I guess. But yeah, Eric.
I think like it is a really good card, but you can't compare it with a resolve of 4 rings if you have a scholar shit that Phoenix get, or Stadius, or Butcher, or Technician, right? Tactician. Those
Yeah,
are
I think Cunning Negotiator is just okay. Like, it's nice to have a playable character with rally, but the action most of the time just bows your stronghold to honor, I think.
yeah.
And you can probably bow your stronghold most turns anyway, so I don't like it that much.
Personally, I'm not sure if Crane should go on a tower build with straighten effects, red effects, and or should go with small one, take up commands, or dishonor, or kill, mark of shame. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about the upcoming meta.
Well, I think we are halfway through this cycle, and probably we have better cards for Crane and the deck you were talking about before, the one about revealing provinces, because I think that will be sort of our theme this cycle. We already have the Kakita Yoshi, who is really huge if he can win a political attack. And I'm pretty sure there will be more cards going down that route, so we can at some point be able to play reveal our provinces and try to win that way.
I'm just
We
scared a
have much.
bit.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry, Panos.
so I'm just scared a bit of the new Yoshi, because revealed provinces in that many numbers gives your opponent so much farm, makes you really vulnerable to aggro decks, and Lost Papers will still be in the meta. So
We
I
have
think
market.
that build is kind of questionable, because I find that with the cards that I currently know Crane has and will be getting, they will be so far behind the other clans. They will need something like old Yoshi plus favorable alliance to be able to contest the top tiers and steal games. I think it will be
You
close to core set Unicorn, honestly.
you mean better draw mechanics for Crane?
I mean, you will need something that is unfair and can steal the game. And because the deck is so lacking, when I put it next to stuff like Crab or Lion or the new Phoenix builds, that I can't see another win condition.
Well, I will not say that we draw as many cards as other clans because we don't, but we have some draw engine somewhere. We have the Painter, we have the Holding that draws us a card when we win a duel, and we also have the Disguise Courtier, who might, from
Can
time to time, he might get you 2, 3, 4 cards, and then that's really huge for Crane because we are not used to have the extra cards and to actually be able to draw 2 or 3 with just one action is really, really good. Plus the ready effect.
Yeah.
All these cards, for me, are fair cards. We need to duel to draw a card. We need to make our opponent to play cards in political conflicts so we can draw cards. Their conditions are fair. When you have a library on Phoenix and you draw card every turn like this, or a liar, or Yasuki or artist, alibi artist. Yeah, I think we lack compared to other clans. We lack draw mechanics. I don't. I get your point about our draw, but I think we need better draw mechanics than this. Definitely need better draw mechanics. In
Eric?
my opinion.
I was just looking at unfair cards that we might get. Maybe Master of the Court is one.
Master of the Court, the mini guest of honor, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting card. It can get bowed with Lost Paper too.
That's half the issue. The other half is that are you gonna run him in a Dragons Plus build, or will you die anyways to attachments?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Plus,
I think I like what Eric said about the new card because I think it will really put us a bit better than where we are now. Being able to cancel an event, it's always a strong effect. Always. That's why Voice of Honor, it's always going to be so good.
can you remind me the effect of this card?
So it's a forfeit, 1/4, glory 1, covered, and when the effects of an event would initiate, discard an honor status token from this character and cancel those effects. So you need to discard an honor token, or if you're lucky, a dishonor token, and then you cancel the effects.
Not in a conflict, right? You can do this anytime.
Yes, she can be out of a conflict, it can be during the draw phase. Potentially, it can cancel lost papers.
Yeah, we had the guest of honor, and because it was an overpowered card, now we have a fair card again, like this, not guest of honor.
It has to be a honored status. You cannot discard dishonor to pay for it.
Okay, you're right.
Okay.
So it practically forces you to choose sometimes, not always, between it and Voice of Honor. But it looks like a good card, really good card. A lot of synergy with Way of the Crane to get it honored pre-conflict.
And I think it also plays with your opponent's mind, because if you have this courtier honor, they will be thinking, should I bait them with this? Should I play that? Can I risk playing this? So having that on the table, it's always.
That's definitely true, I said. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about the new stronghold Crane gets? The one that we need honor guys to win conflicts in attack, if I remember right. And if we win, if we win, we get to honor.
One
And
second.
honor.
Is this actually spoiled?
It is.
Ah, okay. Just making sure we are not cancelled yet.
Yeah.
I think
know.
this stronghold doesn't help you win conflicts. I don't think you will get to 25 honor that often. I don't know. We will have to wait to see all the cards from the cycle. At the moment, I think Yuden Kakita is going to be our best stronghold.
Yeah, that's where I was heading to, about the best Crane stronghold. Okay, you answered that.
I can also kind of see if you try to play your version like of Crane with Higes and Scorpions plus whatever shenanigans. Maybe Shizuka Toshi has some uses.
You mean a Dishonor build or just a Scorpions Plus?
Hige's Sermon to tap the big guy, so if he tries to poke, then you just have a tap on that as well.
I'm not sure if any Crane runs that, except me, I guess.
Yeah. But in general, those kind of builds may have a use for the other stronghold as well. I'm not sure.
Well, if you are running Mark of Shame, you are already giving a dishonor token plus the -1 political, so it's very likely you will be able to wow whoever is attacking you.
Yeah.
But that's sure, that's true. But Suzuka Toshi is basically a blank stronghold for me, because if your opponent gets favored in political, it doesn't matter. The stronghold you have.
Yes, I agree with you. At the moment, it's not in its best shape.
It never was actually. Like the main weakness of Crane before the Crane pack was that it didn't have a stronghold. You're like, okay, yeah, they have that equip fan pre-conflict attack.
Um, so you said about the Yoshi 2. It's a route that Crane decks will follow, right? Djinncito?
Yes, I think that given enough cards to allow us to play that kind of game, we might be able to look into it and think, is this competitive enough or not? At the moment, it's not. But
Uh,
Suma, it's a good province. The one
yeah,
gets
that
your guy's honor, that's a good province. City of
uh,
Prague is not a bad province.
eminent provinces. Yeah, uh, I think Tsuma, it has a potential to be on on row. I'm not really convinced that I will play it. It depends the build, I guess. But if I want to run Yoshi 2, that's definitely a good choice. And the holding we got marketplace that has rally and reveal a province. Yeah, that's a choice too. For that.
Tsuma has also a lot of synergy, maybe with that courtier that needs to remove a token to cancel an event. And if you go that route, maybe you can, I know it's extreme, but play Station as the restricted card and go try to reveal it with a holding and have Tsuma plus Station from the first conflict.
It has synergy with Storyteller too, if you remember that card.
I'm really trying hard now. As a Hina
If an honor,
storyteller?
yeah, if an honor guy you control leaves play, you draw one card. It
Hmm.
has sincerity.
Yeah. The 2/4 Shugenja.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a more control-ish kind of deck, and probably with Takamori and all of that. Because getting Takamori off Suma is quite good. You get your 3/3 already. You don't even need to honor Takamori. It's already honored.
Or the new Sugenja with 3 glory.
Yes,
Uh,
I think we will just need to wait to see which cards we are getting to support us in the Revealing Provinces deck and also in the Honor deck. Because if we have a stronghold that gets us to honor when we win a conflict, definitely there should be something to allow us to try to go to 25.
Yeah. The other issue that Crane have historically had, especially now that Hawk Tattoo is less prevalent, Covert and St. Holmes, uh, which I think even in that build that we are currently talking about could be a problem. Like the courtier doesn't help with that. Eminent provinces are just food, and something like, as we said, a butcher can also be a big issue. So maybe what you said about Unicorn Splash, if you go with favored mounts, you can partially deal with that. In order not to get uncontested honor losses and all that, even if you're tapped.
Yes, and don't forget we have formal invitation, so we can always go to the other half of the conflicts just by getting the guy invited.
Yeah, that card is actually, I wouldn't say nuts, but really, really useful. I reserve the term nuts for tactical ingenuity, Stadius, and other attachments that are better than Spyglass at 0 cost.
And I agree with you. I think tactical ingenuity is what makes the Lion deck so scary. It's what really puts the deck together.
I think it's honestly a card that puts Spyglass to shame. It makes Spyglass look fair, and I don't even know how it does that.
There is a disgusting combo with the disguised guys.
Yep.
That you draw, like you have two tactical, and you draw two. Then you put a disguise on the conflict, and you draw another two. That's really insane. Really, really insane.
Oh, you just look at 16 cards. That's practically what Spyglass did, right? It would give you 4 if you went into 2 conflicts, and in case of a let go, you are set behind the fate. You do not go even. So,
Well, I don't get me wrong. I don't think Spyglass. It's a card that shouldn't be restricted. It should be, but for me, right?
it's banned.
But
not unrestricted.
tactical with the disguised, it's really insane. I don't know. I don't like that, to be honest.
I honestly just started the Spyglass parallel because I think first of all cards like Tactical Ingenuity are becoming a trend, as Stadius has also showed us. Cards that attachments that give 0, 1 and draw in some shape or form, and I think like okay, I'm a Spyglass lover, so don't quote me on that. But I think the new cards really, really can make you rethink that power, at least in the Crab uni, because I think Spyglass got totally broken in Lion uni, not Crab uni.
Okay. About Crane, do you think will get better as I mean with the cards that we know right now? Do you think it will get better in tier list or not? I think maybe it has a possibility, but not without new cards.
I think the 1/4 quarter that cancels events, it's a decent card, but it's not really one that makes your deck way, way better or worse than it is at the moment. So I don't see that card really bumping us to a better position. So for what we know at the moment, I think we will stay the same, and probably the other clans will get better. So I don't see getting any higher anytime soon.
Come on, we need help on Crane. Print us some new cards, some good and powerful new cards. We really need them.
Eric?
Yeah, I don't think they will be enough. Like Master of the Court is the best card probably, but in the end you have a 4-drop, and its ability is that you can trade your honor for 1 card. So it's kind of a fair trade still. So I don't think it's unfair enough to really make super big difference.
Yeah, you are using the word fair. That's the the unfair for us here.
I think Crane, even if they had all Daidoji back, they still wouldn't be top tier. And that's so funny to think about.
If you had
The first version of Uji, the one that reduced fate costs.
Well, that will definitely make us a little bit better because I
Yeah,
would play.
but still not top tier. Like, I don't think it would contest Crab or Lion.
Well, you will have a solid, good military body that you will play with duel to the death and all of this. So, I mean, our numbers are good enough already, but being able to pass, and to get characters mid conflict and so on, I think it could be quite huge.
I agree with Djinncito here.
I don't know. I've play tested a bit against the Master Tactician Lion version, and I don't think I have ever seen something more nuts than that, honestly. I think also like Crane, we can only get worse for the third and fourth packs because Lost Paper hurts them so much, and I think it also makes Unicorn Crane even more Unicorn favored, and I already think it's Unicorn favored. So at that point, Crane will have 0 winning matchups. Absolutely 0.
Basically, we can talk about the matchups Crane has right now.
Okay, go for it. Let's give the ratios, if we can. Eric?
For all of them?
The ones you think are more important, I'd say. So maybe Crab.
I would say all of them.
All of them? Okay.
Yeah. So I think the win rate for for Crane against Crab is maybe 40. Against Crane it should be 50 unless you're playing against Mark of Shame, and then it's still maybe 45.
Mirror. Okay, yeah, it's irrelevant.
I think Dragon is pretty close. I think I would call it 50-50.
Demagogue Dragon? You would call it 50-50?
I don't think we can beat the Mitsu deck because they just create this huge tower, and yes, you can break 3 provinces, but it will cost you a lot of cards because of restoration and because of upholding authority. And then when you are finally on the stronghold, they have the monastery. So it's almost impossible to go through all of that.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
We are talking about the Seeker of Void build, right?
Yeah.
Aren't we talking about the new Mitsu, the new stronghold, and just get the monk thing going? 5 spells, acolytes.
I think that
Yeah,
stronghold.
okay. So maybe it's also 40.
That stronghold has probably almost died though. I think Lost Paper hurts it a fuck ton, and Return from the Shadows is practically an auto loss. So maybe they have to switch things up to Zero Kitsuki or Mountain Anvil or some more aggressive version. What about Lion? What are the Lion ratios?
I think we do well against Honor, but we do quite poorly against Towers. Because Lion Towers are pretty much everywhere, and they just get so many cards and card advantage that we cannot beat that.
I think Honor is also quite hopeless, but I haven't played it that much.
Honor and Lion or Crane?
Honor
I
Lion.
think Honor Lion is very hard to defeat if you are Crane.
I agree, from what I know. Half of it was Slynight tested.
So it's like 30 or 40% against Lion?
Yeah, I think so.
I would agree if we are talking about Tower Lion. If we are talking about Honor, I think it's not that bad. They are favored, but I think that if you play the game knowing what kind of deck they have, it's not that bad.
It's like 40 or 45%.
Yeah, I would say more like 45, 55, depending on what cards you get, what cards they get.
Okay.
So, do you win Phoenix? Do you beat it?
Well, depending on what Phoenix deck, because at the moment there are so many. You
Okay,
have
not
the Enlightenment deck, of course.
There are two builds.
Okay.
Enlightenment will be banned. We don't care about that.
That's what you say, but I don't think it's going to be banned.
I don't care. I'm saying this publicly. If Enlightenment is not banned and I face you in an IRL tournament, put a chess clock next to me. I have 30 seconds per move. I will stall the fuck out of you if you double win hostilities me, and I don't even care about it. What are you gonna do? Time is a win condition. If your win condition is me attacking you... Sorry?
You will just lose the game on time then.
No, I won't. You just need one break, play keepers with 4 fate on them, and he doesn't have enough boys in the dynasty to keep the favor forever. Trust me,
The
I've
problem is
playtested
if you attack turn 1, you allow them to display of power, and then they can keep the ring forever. So
they need at least a wholeness plus 3 shrines to win. So they need to draw display of power plus wholeness turn 1, then wholeness turn 2, then have 3 shrines plus the third wholeness turn 3. And the chances of that are less than 30%.
I don't know. I think if you attack turn 1, it's very likely you will end up losing.
No. I've done the math a bit and we tested it a lot. So I think the chances of you losing turn 1 are from attacking turn 1 are real low, and then you can just stall them. And in Jigoku it's even better. You just disable every action window, click pass really fast, and he loses. But I'm not talking about that Phoenix. I'm talking about either the Scholar that resolves 4 rings and plays Stadios, or the currently mainstream est build, which is not the Pass Phoenix, although that's also a thing. The classic let go 5 fires basic attachment Isaogamori Seido build.
Well, I think that Phoenix at the moment got 2 really, really good cards with the Rally Shugenja that sends you home if you are attacking at a Void Province. That's really, really a good card. And then you always need to keep in mind, if they are attacking with a Scholar, the chance of them playing this other card, I forgot the name. The one that resolves all the rings of the study the natural world. But
have
even
have you seen it in action? Because
I have seen it against the Scorpion one, the province with all the elements. Toshi Rumble. It's
6
quite
rings.
something. Yes, when you can resolve 6 rings for just 2 fate.
And that's also a problem with other eminent provinces, like City of the Rich Frog. Okay, attack. Double fire, Earth Void. GG.
Yes, you need to win the conflict. But anyways, I think Phoenix got 2 really good cards, especially the Shugenja with Rally.
It has Rally too, the one that sends you home?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
I think it's a really solid card. I think it's the kind of card that makes Phoenix be better than they were before.
If it didn't have rally or it had to be participating, it would be fair. It would be a crane card.
Shugenja traits are not needed to be in the conflict. That's the theme here.
Bro, I have seen Phoenix break the game at least 3 times, if we count Enlightenment. Charge Bear, Tadaka, the old Tadaka. the Chargebird with Echoes, and now this.
Put
So
library on a restricted list, and we can talk about this again.
and the shrine, yes, the little shrine, because they open double scholar shrine and you lose for some reason. So
But anyway, Phoenix, yes, they are a good deck. Yes, they have all these new toys. But I don't see Phoenix being the top tier. I think they are good. They got better. But I think we are not that far from them.
Yeah, basically you said that. You think we are above, right, from them. So, what do you think the matchup is here? It's favored Crane, I guess.
I think that if you are able to play a dodgy challenger and get the little guys, play a couple of policy debates, you should be good.
Interesting.
ratio.
Well, I need to play more against the new builds with this new Shugenja, but I would say in Pack 2 we were slightly favored, so it would be 55-45 for Crane.
Yeah,
So wait, you lose 4 matchups.
No, we didn't say about all matchups, right?
You didn't say about Scorpion yet, right?
And Crab?
We all know the answer to Crab. And
There-
Eric told about it. He said 60-40 Crab.
Djinncito won against our Crab player.
Ouch!
And
Don't
that-
remind me.
Yeah, but
I think I got lucky.
We fucked up. Like our communications fucked up. We had too many people, and we were too
in a way-
anxious, and we forgot Game of Sedanes, so we didn't defend your honor the Banzai. And we are salty about it still.
yeah,
I think there were some points in that game where Enegon, who is a great player, he didn't manage his resources as well as he could have. And then the big play was, of course, the killing Tekisada with my Hotaru.
that's the MVP play in the game.
Yes, that was definitely the highlight of the match.
Yeah. In a way, yeah, I felt sad that we lost, but I always like that Crane wins in a way. You know,
Fighting traitor. I can't even be
I'm
like
talking
I'm
about
a
the
crab
Crane.
player.
I'm
Pincers.
talking about the Crane clan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric, what do you think about the Phoenix matchup?
I think Pack 3 helped them really a lot because they got the Shugenja, they got Study the Natural World, and they also got Studious, which are 3 very, very good cards. And about the Shugenja, we normally play Seeker Void, and it also works when they are attacking, so it's really easy to use it every turn.
Oh yeah. So Scorpion, I think we should say about the Scorpion build first. Like we are talking about the Koto build, right? The City of the
Yeah.
Moon.
Keeper of Earth and all the Phoenix Smash, I think they will go with that for a long time. It's just such a solid, strong deck.
Okay, so now that we clear the build of Scorpion, what's the matchup here? Positive or negative?
I will,
yeah,
I will say it's even for us. I don't think it's that bad. But the thing is, because their matchup against other decks is much better. They are above us in the tier list. But when I face a Scorpion, it always comes down to some details during the match and who was able to manage the resources slightly better. So I don't think it's that bad of a matchup.
Okay, yeah, I respect that.
Eric?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's actually okay if you play a normal deck. If you play with Take Up Command, then you will just get destroyed by Assassinate.
Yeah, I agree with Djinncito too about that.
So one negative matchup, no, four negative, three negative, one even,
Uh,
and one positive, right?
Yes, that's why at the moment we are not in our best shape.
Okay. I I think that matchup spread is actually like the matchup spread of a really low tier deck. So even fifth seems too high for me too, because I think like hell, even Unicorn have better matchup spreads. Um, Honestly, we have to wait and see what the next packs offer Crane. They seem to be lagging behind, and their theme also seems to be at least kind of problematic in a meta where things like the new Phoenix cards. Imagine playing an Eminent deck and he is just attaching for farm the Void Province with the new Sugenja and resolving triple rings on or quadruple rings on City of the Rich Frog.
we are expecting we are waiting basically. We are waiting a hell for Crane.
Yeah, I think you need something at this point.
Either that or we need something to be taken off the restricted list so we can get the good cards that used to make us really good. So I don't know. I don't know if Toshimoko, now that Lost Papers is here, maybe he's not as dangerous as he used to be to the meta. Because if you want to build a tower, everyone will have Lost Papers to deal with Toshimoko. So in a way, he's not that good anymore.
I like the change on Uji too. The old Uji.
You
Uh,
want the old Uzi back, or do you think it
I
was a
mean,
correct change?
I know that Uji is OP if we are talking about the old one, but we really need something that good. So yeah, I think it would be good for us now that he's not unrestricted too. Or
I
Toshimoko, yeah, I don't know, but something we need. It's
I
not
tend
that.
to agree with Toshimoko. Uh, I think with Lost Papers now, even as a unicorn, you don't feel that you auto lose the game. But Uzi or Station of the restricted list, uh, I think they are way too swingy and feel bad, really bad to lose to.
If you think about it, either Uji or Toshimoko, their effects can be used even if they are bowed. So if even if, with Lost Paper or within a really aggressive unicorn build, you can actually put some fight back. So yeah, I think we need something for sure.
Eric?
I think Uji would probably be too good if he still had one discount with Wealth of the Crane. But
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, Wealth of the Crane. Shit! I didn't consider that synergy. Fuck that card. Oh god.
Wealth of the
yeah, it
Crane.
would be too much. And I
You
think
gave me
Station
heart attack.
is too swingy. It's just you can lose the game by hitting it, or another time you attack it and nothing happens and it just breaks. So I think if anything, maybe Toshimoko should come back.
And not Station. Maybe Station for Lost Papers too.
No. No. Bad Yanis. Bad Slynight. I never want to pray before attacking, then attack into station and say, well, I guess I'm a bad player. I deserve this loss. This is totally fair. Come on.
Yes, I
Okay.
think no one liked attacking
Go
the.
back.
Hmm?
Sorry, Djinncito.
Yes, no one liked attacking the station, not even in the mirror match. So it was not a positive experience to play against it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, guys, I agree. Let's go with Toshimoko, even if I want the old Doji back. Okay.
So, to sum up, Crane are in a tough spot. I think we can all agree on that. Djinncito is by far the most hopeful out of
Yeah.
everyone. I tried to have Chuterev as well. He didn't want to be here, but I think he also agrees that Crane have it really rough. They need some cards, maybe something of the restricted list, maybe the eminent thing to work finally. And currently the hopes are on the new courtier and the new what is it called? Come on, 3-6. Uh,
The eminent province, you mean?
no, I'm
No.
talking about the champion.
Oh, Yoshi?
Yoshi.
Kakita Yoshi?
Yes, thanks. Uh, that's called the brain fart. But anyway, the new Kakita Yoshi to pave the way towards top tier, the promised land.
Yes, I think Kakita Yoshi is probably our unfair card of the cycle. It's like our big guy.
Yeah, the thing is that it actually can backfire, and it's not like automatically bonkers like tactician, as an example. It needs a bit
Yes,
of a setup.
the problem is it only works in 1 out of 4 conflicts because it needs to be political and you need to be attacking and you need to win the conflict. So yes, the effect is huge, but there are too many requirements for it to trigger.
You think it could work with the new Scorpion card, Way with Words?
Try to go for a dishonor build. I tried and I've seen some way with words in Crab. Crab it's with a heavy emphasis on dishonor. The card looks way better than it works, I think. The fate cost of getting you pay a fate to get +0 +1, that really hurts.
Which card should be in a restricted list? From a restricted list with Wave of Words.
Hmm? Restricted list.
Which card should be used with Way of Words? The card that Eric said.
I guess policy debate, because you will have a lot of political.
Yeah.
Might as well. It will be low bids as well, and you can take away the good cards.
Yes, and then you will be back to playing Kakita Asami and all the new guys that discard cards, the 1 cost, for example, who is actually quite good.
You also have the 3-coster,
So we are not talking about
2-3-coster. No, that's actually a viable concept now that I think about it better. But isn't like Letter to the Daimyo maybe won't you have a problem of too much political in one deck?
Lion will discard the in service to my lord, so I don't like that.
They may not run in service to my lord because Tactician is not unique. So I can see that actually being somewhat viable. The only
Yeah,
problem will
I don't know.
be
You need stats for that. That's for sure.
You can
Maybe
go with old Hotaru, like Djinncito.
yeah, I don't know. Old Hotaru or Yoshitu?
Both. Everything.
Everything. Let's go.
Does it have 5 plus blue stat? Put it in. It's the opposite of unicorn. We do red stat. I'm not sure, but maybe some version of that build can be tried out. The main problem with Dishonor builds that cannot run Display of Power is that the opponent can bid 1 Resolve Airing first attack if they are first player. Bid 5, sorry, Resolve Airing. And you lost the game.
It definitely makes it harder to win. So I don't know if a full Dishonor build will work or not. I remember playing a while back this uh, hand hate deck. So it ran Letters to the Daimyo, Spies at Court, even the over here. What you would do is bid 5 every turn and then always have more cards than your opponent because all your cards are card advantage and you would be running the Regal Bearing, so you would always get all these cards. The problem with that deck is that you always need it to win that one political conflict, and if you didn't, pretty much 80% of your hand was worthless. So I don't think it will be that competitive, but maybe it's a new thing to explore.
Nice. Let's explore and find pretty much fair cards.
You gotta find the not so fair cards in order to have a chance. But I think you have some really decent tools, and maybe, I guess maybe you can eventually find what you need to become top tier again, or at least mid tier. That would be good enough, the way you currently are. Anything else you would like to add?
I'm okay.
Not really.
Yeah, I think we got everything.
So thank you all very much for joining me on this podcast. Probably the most stacked special I have had. Thanks.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks
Thank you
very
for
much.
having us.
And to all 15 viewers that watched so far, thank you too, and see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.